Camp, how's camp been? How's camp different this year than maybe past years?
Camp is great so far. I love it, especially that it's my last one and sixth one, so it feels a little surreal at the same time because it feels being here forever and I'm never gonna leave. But yeah, this is the last one.
You're a guy that came in and you're from Quebec. It was a different culture, different environment. How have you adjusted over these 6 years to become a different person than when you were when you first got here?
Uh, I mean, at first for me, the biggest difference was the language, because obviously Quebec is mainly French speaking. But I feel like I've made really good friends and connection that helped me shape the way I understand and view the world, especially in America, and it helped me adapt better than if it would have just been me like attacking it in some ways. And I feel like over the years, just a graduate like progression and understanding how to this works, especially in Southeast Michigan, is completely different than where I'm from. So I feel at this point it feels like home.
You look at kind of, and you don't want to overread what people talk about you, but you've been on so many preseason teams, so many awards over the years, but now they're kind of talking about you being that guy that can make that jump to the pro level. How much does that drive and fire you to kind of say, hey, everybody's talking about me. I think I've got a pretty good chance too.
I mean, those are always nice to get, but what really gets me going is the opposite when the guys are saying, like, I'm overweight, I'm fat, I can't bend, I'm not a great player, or whatever. Those are the one that drives me because it's been distorted my whole career. Just a kid from nowhere, middle of Quebec, and I'm making it now. And like, if I could get a shot, and there's still those people that doubts me, I can make it. So that's the one that drives me.
Think about to when it all got started. How did you get involved in playing football? I mean, it's not a thing you've got the CFL, but it's not the number one sport in Canada. How did you get playing football?
It was funny. I used to play soccer, but I got kicked out because I was too aggressive. So after that, I didn't play sport for a couple years, and there was those kids from high school when I was in middle school. They came and say, "Oh, you want to participate in a flag football tournament? You practice a couple times for about a month, and after that, participate." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Because I didn't really know anything about football at that point, and immediately fell in love. That was in fifth grade, and since then, it's been my dream, my goal to play football at the highest level possible. And even in high school and middle school, I was like, I want to play in the NCAA, and yeah, made it.
What do you love so much about football?
Hitting a man legally, every single play, nonstop, without repercussion, and just people that will cheer you on if you just beat a man to the ground. I think it helped me, especially at a young age, because I used to have a decent amount of aggression problems, and it just turned me into like I have something to channel all this like aggression and anger from the outside world into football, and also the complexity of the sport, how intellectual is the most complex game sports in the world, and I just love this aspect of it.
You think back, and you now got the graduate patch on, but that first trip Coach Creighton made to come see you and your family, what do you think back to that moment?
I was like, is this really happening? Like, because back home there's no college coaches that comes to Quebec, especially where I'm from. To be honest, probably the first one in history. So I was like, oh wow, they're really coming for me to come, at my home and like talk to my family and to make me come to their school. Because at that point I was like, there's not really a point for them to do that because I'm already coming. I got one offer, and that's it. I'm going. But it just no, established the fact that they're serious here and their family, and when they're talking about it, like they mean it from early beginning. I mean, that was 2016, and now it's still the same thing. They still care.
Family is something that's thrown out often in football and culture, but here it really is family. I mean, people are together, they want to be together. How important is that for you to want that family environment?
It just makes everything so much more comfortable, and especially in college football, everything is so hard. It's a grind, it's nonstop, and you really gotta love the football. But at the end of the day, if you don't have like a safety net to fall back on, it's never really comfortable. But here, we created that safety net, and like the team, the players, the coaches, they're all part of a big family because they actually care about each other on a personal level. and it's not just football. So it just made the whole experience so much easier, and it's the same thing for everybody else. And I feel like we understood that, and everybody else, like especially coming freshmen, they understand that, so they want to recreate the same thing for everybody else that's coming in the future.
Who was your kind of sports hero growing up?
Uh, it was it's not really growing up. It was later on. It was Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. He's offensive guard that played in Canada in college at McGill University and went on to play for the Chiefs in an amount of time, won some Super Bowls, and also achieved his MD while playing professional football. I thought it was just so inspiring. And I was like, wow, our man can really do both at the same time, especially he's coming pretty much from the same place I'm coming from. I was like, yeah, it's achievable.
Everybody's got a different way they get prepared for the game. You listen to music. How do you get prepared?
I do listen to music a little bit, but what really helps me is like coming out early on the field and stretching and just looking at the opponent and just be like, oh yeah, they want to beat me, they want to be better than me. And it's just, a way to hype myself up. And after that, it's just to calm myself down a little bit, because I get stressed before every single game, even though it's maybe like the first one, the 40th one. I still get stressed about the next game coming. And yeah, music and stretching.
You talk about those butterflies. I mean, is it a good feeling to know that it still gets you kind of those nerves each game, or is it kind of like, wow, this is still pretty cool that I get to do this?
I mean, I feel like if you didn't have any kind of like we weren't stressed or butterflies or anything, I mean, you don't really like it, you don't love it. I mean, I want to perform the best I can, and like I get stressed before a game. I was like, oh, I need to do good, and it doesn't matter which game it is. I mean, Power 5, Group of 5, or whatever conference. It means like for me that I still love what I'm doing, and like I'm still excited every single time I get to step on the field.
If somebody were to describe you in a word or two, what would it be and why?
Kind of calm. Not really an excited person most of the time. I like to keep my energy to play football, and most of the time I just don't have that much energy. And kind of, I don't like being mean to people. I don't like when people are mean to each other, except in football, because I love that in football. But outside, like I want to take care of the people around me as much as I can and make sure everybody's happy and I'm happy.
Stack 'em, the theme for this year. What does that mean to you, and how are you going to go about accomplishing that goal?
When we created that Stack 'em, I felt like it was like one of the best themes we ever made, because it comes back to a book I read. It's called Atomic Habits, and it was talking about the British cycling Olympic team and how they used to suck. And a new coach came in and implemented the rule of 1%, of applying a 1% better every single day at every single little thing that you do in sports. So for me, it's just to stack these 1%, so I could be 1% better, my footstep, or 1% better in my pass pro. And I keep doing that every single day. That means that by the end of the season, I might be 50, 60% better than I was originally. And we apply that as a team, and every single practice has to be better than the next. Every single game has to be better than the next. We can't go back, because if you go back, that means you're just falling instead of going up.
What do you want the lasting memory of the senior class to be?
Winning. Bowl game, championship. I mean, we need to at this point. It's the one thing this program hasn't done yet in a long time, is winning something meaningful, a bowl game or a conference championship. That's it.